I'm an entrepreneur myself. I often say I had a bad dream and woke up in this government world that I now spend a bit of time. ventureLAB is a regional innovation center, and it's a part of this larger group called the Ontario Network of Excellence. We are part of a collaborative network of 14 organizations across the province of Ontario that do what we do. So the idea being, if you're the entrepreneur, you can walk through the front door of any regional innovation center, even though they're all uniquely branded. Ours is called ventureLAB, the one in Waterloo is called Communitech. There's a great group in Ottawa called Oaktree, it's been around about 28 years. They're all regional innovation centers, just like ventureLAB. And it's meant to be a one-stop shop for entrepreneurs, principally in the knowledge-based sector, to make connections, to connect with gentlemen like these two guys that are here on the panel with me, to meet entrepreneurs who have been there and done it before, to connect with relevant government programming, to connect with investment networks, to connect with potential customers, channel partners, collaborators. There's a big, vast world out there that through peer networking and getting like-minded people together, you can create some really great transformative stuff. I call it collisions, you know? When people collide like this on a regular basis, organically, really special things start to happen. And that's what a regional innovation center is meant to be about. So we're co-located with my friend here, Dan Lynch, in a place called the Markham Convergence Center that I call our clubhouse for entrepreneurs. You know, it's a building, right? So what? Bricks and mortar and windows. But it comes to life by the people that are inside it every day. And a clubhouse for entrepreneurs is an important thing from a regional perspective. It's less than an hour from where we're all sitting right now. So, you know, when I was in Kingston, as an example, in the mid-90s, we didn't have anything like that. So I looked for those connections outside of my own borders. What we're trying to encourage Canadian and Ontario-based entrepreneurs to do is look in your own backyard for bright, talented people, like-minded people that want to help you commercialize your idea. And maybe if you're real lucky, build the next platform computing and build it in a region where you want to build prosperity and enterprise value. So, we're a regional innovation center. We're located in the York region, and we advise and develop talented entrepreneurs to build world-class growth companies in Ontario. I hope I just said something similar. So we kind of look at the business or value creation around a knowledge-based company across a couple of pillars that work their way up an arrow if everything goes really well and you end up being a platform computing someday. So the first thing is we've got the idea, right? Now remember, we're talking about this in the context of knowledge-based companies or technology companies, but it's no different in advanced manufacturing. It's no different in any business. In fact, my first business was a restaurant, and I got really good at making pizzas. It's exactly the same thing. It's a recipe and a formula that comes out as a product that you hope to sell to customers to generate a profit, to return into the business, to create enterprise value and prosperity. It's exactly the same thing here. So idea of product value creation, we've got a couple of things that go on there. We've got research, market ready, customer ready, business ready, export ready. And what we try to do is guide organizations along this path, which can be a little bit daunting. So we do it with many hands to make light work, right? So like the gentlemen that are on this panel with me today, we work actively every single day to make valuable connections along this path we call, on the services side, innovation and pre-seed. So we know, as ventureLAB, there's a lot of service partners out there to help you, the entrepreneur. You could retire before you figured them all out. It's our job to know who they are and when they might be relevant to you and help you connect to them in a meaningful way. So the bubble or the cloud is just meant to say there are all these great things out there like academic connections and relevant government programs that may be interested in trying to help you grow your business. Our Regional Innovation Center is a one-stop shop to help connect to those things, and there's 14 of them around the province. Now then on the other side, if we have some success and we get all the way to customer ready, we have to help create a business plan to profit or value realization. So now we're continuing along the continuum here. And we talk now about companies that may be investment ready. So what do we do there? Well, we've got a seed level and a growth level. And after you've got a product that's customer ready, you're probably looking to business ready, and then ultimately, if you're real successful, export ready. I won a Global Exporter Award when I was 24 years old, so I got celebrated by the province of Ontario as a global exporter. But what that really meant is I didn't have a single Canadian customer. Not one Canadian customer. Every single one of our customers are outside of the Canadian boundary line, so I got recognized as a global exporter. So what does that mean? It means that in this country, if you're going to grow an enterprise company, and that's what we're trying to help do, we want to make sure that companies are focused on domestic markets and have a plan to realize growth beyond domestic markets, and understand what challenges exist in the export-ready business. The Ministry of Research and Innovation, the Provincial Ministry of Research and Innovation, asks each regional innovation center to provide this a la carte menu. So regardless of which one you might pop into anywhere in the province, our job as a RIC is to offer these services to entrepreneurs. And then I'm going to just quickly outline a couple of examples of what we do in each one of those 5 pillars. So under educational programs, we create and run a whole series of boot camps and workshops and curriculum-based activities that are free of charge, and we encourage entrepreneurs to come in and learn about relevant business issues. Might be cash flow, could be understanding intellectual property. It might be getting better at understanding how to pitch your business to investors. It could be any different variety of different things. And sometimes we do that as ventureLAB, and sometimes we do that reaching out to our local partners. So in our building, for example, we have partners like the York Technology Alliance, or YTA. They run really, really effective peer groups. So we don't run those. That would be confusing to the entrepreneur, and the YTA does it really, really well. And we can effectively link people to peer groups that they might be interested in being a part of. Then we have something called advisory services. So think about competitive intelligence and market intelligence, things you need to know about your product and the market that you sell your product in. Gartner reports, you hear about these analyst reports from Forrester and IDC. There's lots of big ones out there. They're expensive. They're typically $2,000 to $3,000 a pop. So they most often are reserved for the big guys. IBM buys these things, and they pay close attention to the analytics of the businesses that they're in. We can offer these to entrepreneurs through this broader Ontario Network of Excellence free of charge. Any company that is less than $2 million in revenue that might be interested in accessing competitive market intelligence to learn more about the business they're in, they can come to a regional innovation center, any one of them, not just ours, and access this information for free. We also, through a partnership with Seneca College, provide what we call competitive intelligence. So we have a PhD level individual who works in the office with us and works with our companies to then take that information and distill it down to a very, very granular level and develop it into a workup plan, something of material value that you can walk away with that might help you guide your business or guide you to your next level of growth. Then we have industry academic programs. This is very important to me, you can appreciate, to the Ministry of Research and Innovation. And you're going to hear more from my colleagues on the panel here about this in a moment. But through organizations like the Ontario Centres of Excellence, and you're going to hear from Jose Costa later this morning, who's a business development manager for OCE, and through partnerships with our academic partners like York University and like Seneca College, we can help companies tap into world-leading researchers. There's all kinds of incredible technology that's often just sitting on a bench in a laboratory somewhere, because in the pursuit of academic excellence, it needs to be done. It's very, very important to the academic pursuit. But in some cases, it has real commercial applicability. Now, tapping into that is a difficult challenge. I never did it in Kingston. I didn't have a single relationship with Queen's University, and I never even heard of OCE. And I was a business development manager in Queen's University the entire time I was there. I learned about them when I came to Toronto 4 years ago. So these are important things for business, and they're incredibly relevant across a whole variety of sectors: manufacturing, ICT, environment, clean tech. They have a whole variety of very, very important things that might be relevant to the businesses you're in. So a RIC can help you tap into not only government programs that might be able to help you fund it, but also to relevant researchers in the academic institutions that reside in the regions that we all work in. A very important partnership to us, and I'm just going to talk briefly to it because you're going to hear more from Dan Lynch in a moment, is Innovation York. And Innovation York is resident in the building. Now, I talked earlier about collisions. The opportunity to meet an entrepreneur, discuss what this might mean to your business, and to be able to literally walk downstairs and meet Dan and members of his team and have a quick discussion and determine what the next steps might be is invaluable. That's what a clubhouse is meant to do, and that's what I meant by collisions earlier. Having everybody under one roof is a really important and valuable resource to entrepreneurs, so that you're not driving all over the place trying to figure out where these people are. They're all assembled under one hood. We then do something called customer development. I talked at the outset about not being very good at sales, right? We're great innovators, we're really, really smart entrepreneurs, we build great things here, but we often fall down when it comes to sales. It's okay, right? We can't be perfect at everything, but it's important to know where you might be able to tap into some help. To maybe run through a pitch competition or a sales presentation in a dry run format in front of a camera. It's a bit intimidating, but when you have a coach that wants to help you succeed and is paid for and looked after for you by different levels of government to see you succeed in your business, it's a very, very invaluable tool, and it's one I would encourage anyone in this room who's building a business to think seriously about. So again, we go to curriculum-based activities. We work with successful entrepreneurs who have successfully built companies before, who want to give back to their community, who want to help in a coaching capacity. That's how we bring these kind of programs to entrepreneurs. And then finally, financing and investors. Our job is to be connected to a pipeline of investment capital that is out there, because we all know it's scarce. And our opportunity really is to know what the investors are looking for so that we don't waste their time and we don't waste your time. And be kind of like the eHarmony, the dating service, the ultimate matchmaker when we find the great company that's got the right kind of opportunity that this particular investment group is looking for, put them together and get out of the way. We're a not-for-profit corporation. There's no vested interest in it for us beyond seeing you succeed and seeing the angel investor or the bank or whoever the institution might be that's behind the deal succeed so that they come back and look for more opportunities in their own backyard. So it's important for us as a RIC to run these kinds of financing and investor forums regularly. We had a Money Chase event 2 Wednesdays ago. We had 100 people in the room, 19 companies that had been working with us through boot camp since April. 19 of them made the grade and presented at Money Chase. 4 of them got callbacks from 30 qualified investors that were in that room of 100 people that day. That's important. So we're meant to be kind of the rainmaker. Create the environment, get the room buzzing, get the right people in the seats and the right people up on the podium, and see what kind of magic can take place. And that's an example of what we might do under this particular area of our business. So then finally, just a quick snapshot of the 14 partners that make up the entire Ontario Network of Excellence. And this is true coverage as far north as Thunder Bay, as far west as Windsor, and east all the way to the Quebec border. There are 14 organizations, and as I said at the outset, they're all independently branded because they're all separately governed and run organizations, but they are collaborative under this Ontario Network of Excellence banner, and they all provide the same thing. This is where we do it, at 7271 Warden Avenue in Markham, part of York Region. And these are the partners that are inside the Markham Convergence Center that all work collaboratively together every day. And you see, in a one-stop shop setting, you as an entrepreneur can walk into a building like this. You can connect to IRAP, you can connect to the export development professionals from York Region, you can connect with the Ontario Centres of Excellence, Seneca College, the Markham Board of Trade, the York Technology Alliance, the town of Markham themselves, if you're interested, York University, the Markham Small Business and Enterprise Center, who can also connect you to the collaborative network of small business and enterprise centers that are located throughout the province. So it's a very nice suite or service of offerings, and not by design or by accident did I put ventureLAB right in the center there, because it's my presentation after all. So that's it for me. That's the pitch on ventureLAB and what Regional Innovation Center is, and I just want to thank you one more time for your time and attention this morning and giving me the opportunity to speak to you.